Xabi Alonso is no longer the head coach or manager, whatever you want to call it, of Real Madrid. Um, I don't know how to feel about this. Xabi Alonso is an exceptional manager, extremely intelligent, brilliant tactically, one of the one of the greatest midfielders in recent history. Uh, you know, just as good as the likes of Iniesta and Xavi and Gerrard, Lampard. He was off that ilk, of that level, and such a smart football player. Uh, how he managed Bayer Leverkusen to have that team reach where it did, to use those players the way he did, to maximize the talent that Bayer Leverkusen had, for them to dominate the Bundesliga, even when Bayern had an exceptional team, arguably a better team than Bayer Leverkusen had. Um, Such an exceptional manager, and Real Madrid knew that going in, and we did see flashes of that tactical genius, of that tactical know-how. But the expectation as a Real Madrid manager was never just tactical exceptionalism. It's more ego management. It's more locker room uh, presence, managing players, relationships, um, catering to their wants, their desires on the pitch, giving them the freedom to express themselves, as we've seen Carlo Ancelotti do so well over the years. But his time was over. The respect that the players had for Xabi Alonso, it seems, was not the same they did with Carlo Ancelotti. He didn't have that presence in the locker room, um, and it seems there was some conflict with players like Vinicius Junior and uh, and few other players. But the changes that he was able to make to the roster, the relationship between Rodrigo and Vinicius that we saw in the match against Barcelona, how they were able to play off each other on the left wing, especially when Mbappe wasn't on the pitch to crowd their area. But exceptional players, exceptional manager, just weren't able to put the pieces together. Still an exceptional team. They still are second in La Liga. Still ways to go though. You could make the excuse that players haven't been healthy. Trent, one of their biggest off-season acquisitions, hasn't had a consistent run of games for a while, and they've been forced to play Valverde, who plays more a number 8 or number 6 in that right back position. They have been uh, not had a consistent number 9, even though Kylian Mbappe was in exceptional form in the beginning of the season. Um, they've had to rotate between Bellingham sometimes playing that number 9, or extremely forward number 10, um, or Gonzalo Garcia, or Antonio, Arda cycling between these players, not having a true number 9. That is a little difficult, especially when Mbappe and Vinicius and Rodrigo like to occupy the same sort of positions. Um, and we were able to see Vinicius and Rodrigo play off each other really well for a few moments. But with Barcelona dominating most of the possession, I feel like even with Barcelona dominating most of the possession, it was almost like a basketball game. Like if you were to turn on the telly exactly when an attacking play was going on, both teams had very similar amount of shots and shots on target. I feel like it was a good, um, as all El Clasicos have been in recent memory. It was a battle of goalkeepers, and obviously the final goal was a deflection, which you can't hold against Courtois. Both of these keepers are exceptional. Both of them are arguably the two best in the world, Joan Garcia and Thibaut Courtois. Brilliant performances by both keepers. Both the keepers kept them in the game. I feel both teams defensively are just a shambles. Um, when it comes to um, stopping attacking play of the opposition. Barcelona, their leaky offside trap backline um, has been a disaster, especially at the beginning of the season. The moment Juan Garcia came back, they started those clean sheets again, but that's that's in no part because of the the uh, the the defensive line. It the clean sheets also, were in line with the return of Rafinha, who was able to keep the cycle of the offense, um, keep the possession a little bit more. Frankie De Jong and Pedri, the double pivot in midfield, is another crucial part of that. Pedri, arguably the best midfielder on the planet right now, and maybe De Jong and Pedri is arguably the best midfield pairing in the world right now. Um, but another fact is that I wasn't able to watch the whole game, but the last El Clasico in October, you could see Bellingham occupy brilliant positions centrally, but was unable to get the ball. When you have that connector from defense to midfield like a Valverde or a Chouamani or a Camavinga to get the ball from defense to an attacking position to Bellingham to Vinicius, Rodrigo, Ardigula, all these attacking players, Mbappe, whoever it may be. Especially Bellingham, because he can play that number 10. He is that number 10, that connecting piece from midfield to attack, who completes the final third passes, gets the ball into scoring positions. But in that game in October, he he very he, I could always see him calling for the ball in midfield but unable to receive it, and that wasn't even because of the defense around him. It was just because there was nobody to get him the ball in that position. And I feel that's been a real problem that Xabi Alonso has maybe failed to respond to, or he may be using Bellingham as a decoy in midfield almost, choosing to go wide more often. Um, could be a combination of these facts, but let's see now. The new manager was the manager of Castillo, which is Real Madrid's reserve team. Similar to what's happening with Chelsea almost. It's not obviously exactly the same. Strasbourg is a Bluco a team, not exactly under the Chelsea umbrella, but kind of the same ilk. Let's see now. This new manager, Alvaro. Um, I haven't seen any of his games. Obviously, I'm not sure of his play style, but will be interesting to see what he does with the players they have. If he will want to move players in the January window. Rodrigo was a potential signing for City in the summer of 2025, but now obviously with the acquisition of Semenyo, which is looking pretty good so far, after the extra game. But to be seen. Looking forward to it. Congratulations to Barcelona on their Clasico win. To be expected, I feel. Uh, the game was closer than I imagined. Or not really. I mean, we knew it was going to be a goalkeeper battle again, as it was in October, and it did turn out to be so. The defenses on both sides were lacking, as I said. Um, it was almost a basketball game, Vinicius, I have to give him props for that goal. You know, took his chance well, as he has been unable to do for quite some time now. Good to see him back in scoring ways, as much as I hate Vinicius. um, but yeah, I feel like his his time at Madrid is not over yet. Um, won't see him in Saudi, at least not in 2026. But you never know. The new manager might have something different to say. Maybe the pairing of Rodrigo and Vinicius on the left together is something to look at, because you know they want Rodrigo playing off the right wing, but him and Vinicius occupying those similar positions, though they were able to play off each other pretty well, could be something to look into. Um, but having Mbappe there as well is obviously complicating things. So it is what it is. Simply is what it is. Let's see what is to be done. Looking forward to it. Next up is Manchester Derby. Um, after the Newcastle game, of course, for us. Is it EFL Cup, FA Cup, EFL Cup? Not sure. Newcastle, then Manchester Derby. But yeah, looking forward to it. Simply is what it is. See you guys in the next one. Peace.